Watercooler. Watercooler. Watercooler.
Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with us. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Lux, I'm on a kick it with Kaylin and Matt. With me today, all the way in Long Beach, California, it's Kaylin Bean.
What's going on?
Hi, Kaylin.
Hey, Chris.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been
in
a
real
while.
life. And then all the way in Austin, Texas, it's Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hi, Matt. Long time no see.
Yeah.
In real life.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was amazing.
Kaylin and I ran into Matt over the weekend. It was
Me
lovely.
and Chris just happened to go to an Irish pub at like 7 a.m. We were trying to grab a beer, and look who was there sitting there watching the football match.
To
Right
be clear,
here
the
in
two of you
California.
did not travel to Austin, Texas. Rather, I traveled to the fair city of Los Angeles in California.
It was so good to see you.
It was great. We touched each other. Like we actually rubbed each other.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to clarify that. I'm not going to clarify it.
Yeah.
Some rubbing did happen. We'll just
Rubbing
say
did
that.
happen, and Matt finally put his shirt back on after the first hour. So now, so what happened was Matt was on a bachelor party with some mutual friends out here, and we heard that where he was going to be, Gary was the one putting on said bachelor party, and he said, "Hey, we're going to be here at this bar at this early AF time. If you would like to come, Matt will be there in person." And come to think of it, the last time I saw Matt Fondelier in person was probably his last day in California.
Yeah.
When he left for Texas
Yeah.
2 years ago.
That's correct.
So Kaylin and I said that's a no-brainer. We'd love to go and see Matt. And we went to an Irish pub, which is known for its Liverpool Allegiance fandom.
Yeah, we do need to back it up a second. First, let's just also state that Gary, the hero of this scenario, will be here on this podcast hopefully very soon. He's just running a couple minutes late. So I feel bad getting too far into it without him because he is really responsible for bringing us all together. But to back it up a scotch, my former college roommates both became obsessed with Liverpool Football Club out in jolly old England. And to the point where they've actually gone international to go watch games in person. They know all the fucking songs, like the full 9 yards. And so part of my buddy's insane idea for his own bachelor party would be to have a massive party on Saturday night. And then on Sunday morning, wake up at fucking 6:30 a.m. and drive out to Long Beach, which is not anywhere near where he lives, by the way. It's a full half an hour, like almost 40 minutes to get out there to then watch this game.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's why that happened.
Actually,
You
let's
may
backtrack.
continue.
Let's backtrack a little bit farther because
Let's
these guys.
backtrack to the very beginning, man.
It's
First,
weird.
let there
Seriously,
be light.
it is weird how the connection of these two guys, your old roommates, to you and Gary. Right?
Yeah, absolutely it is. Again, I feel Gary's gonna be so bummed that he's not here to
It's okay.
to help
He'd
relive
butcher
all
it.
this.
He would butcher it anyway. Just
All
go
right.
ahead.
Okay, so I lived with my college roommates even after college. We all moved into a house in the Hollywood Hills together.
Then you were just paired
And-
up with these guys in college, like.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, my buddy Alex, he shared a wall with me my freshman year. He wasn't my freshman year roommate, but he was right next door to me. And we became actual roommates for our sophomore year on campus. And then our junior year and senior year, we lived off campus. And when we lived off campus, a third buddy, the one who was the bachelor, kind of came into the picture. And we had kind of some mutual friends. But we essentially all lived together our junior year and senior year of college. And then after we graduated, we kind of went in separate ways. But then about 5 years later, we all moved back in together at a crazy house in the Hollywood Hills, which is right around the time I started working for Corolla. And basically that place had a series of kind of revolving roommates. Now, at this time I started working with Corolla, I met Gary. And Gary and I became great friends to the point where he was nice enough to drive me and my college roommate to Las Vegas one weekend. And before we got to the airport, I went to the B of A to go get some cash for the weekend. And while I was out of the car, my college roommate and my work buddy started talking to each other and found out that their dads work together and know each other.
Weird.
Which is the weirdest
Crazy.
fucking thing ever. So they kind of connected over that, and all of a sudden we all became friends. And within a year, Gary was living in that house with me and all my college roommates.
Yep. So
That's kind of the foundation of all of that. And
And
then we've
that's
just
how-
all become very, very close friends. They're like brothers, as
Yeah.
obviously you could tell.
and we're this. I mean that just proves this is all simulation, right, Kaylin?
Oh yeah.
The
For
way
sure.
that it's all
It
connected.
felt
yeah,
like
that-
it when
it's
you
always
guys
happening.
walked into that bar. I was like, my mind exploded. I don't know why it never occurred to me, because obviously you guys know The Bachelor, like you know him through me and Gary, so it wasn't like going to be totally out of the blue, especially because we were going to be in Long Beach. But it did not occur to me at all. All I was thinking about was this bachelor party, and I
Right.
knew we were going to a bar really early in the morning, and frankly that's all I was thinking about, was like, how the fuck am I going to wake up, how am I going to get through this? And then all of a sudden those two smiling faces walked in, and it really did feel like a simulation. I was like, this is real life. What is happening? This is amazing. You
So
posted a picture, right, on Insta?
I did, yeah. So that bar you actually both have been invited to in the past. You just didn't come because that's where I had my 30th birthday.
Nice.
Many
That was a cool
moons ago.
bar.
Yeah, and well, it was the beginning. So what happened was that Jed gave me a surprise birthday where like a double-decker bus picked us up at that bar, and we went on like to 3 other bars, and then ended up at Mikey's house and partied the night away. So and yeah, like a lot of people from Corolla went, but yeah, you guys didn't come because
You're too cool for
couldn't
school.
be
That was
bothered.
too far for me. Yeah.
Couldn't
Yeah.
be bothered.
Yeah.
And but it was that bar, so it was nice to finally get you guys in there.
That
I
was a
had
nice
been in
place,
that bar.
man.
I had been in that bar one other time because there is a great Italian restaurant right down the street from that bar, and they're kind of known for their pizza and pasta, which is across like Long Beach. It gets hit up a lot in our Long Beach Facebook food group. And the first time me and Amy went there, it was like an hour and a half wait. So we were like, hey, there's this bar down the street. Let's go there. And we went down there, and there was like a UFC fight going on. And it was awesome. I was like, oh, this bar is really cool. We could just make this a regular thing where we go wait for an hour and a half table at this popular Italian place and then just go have a drink at the pub nearby.
We should say the place was called Gallaghers.
Mhm.
And for this Liverpool match, they had, I mean, there must have been 15 to 20 televisions that are all around the edge of that place, and every single one of them has the game on. So no matter what direction you're looking in, you can watch the game. Every single person there was wearing the Liverpool red. A bunch of people had the neck, the little towels, holding them up, singing songs. Like, I really was like, this is a gathering of people with a shared mental disorder, and they're all just like, they're like crying at certain points when the lead goes away. I mean, it was like a spiritual experience to watch all of them together.
I
And they
like
all-
being in that
They all
kind
took
of
a picture together.
yeah.
You know. It
Oh yeah, all
was-
the fans went
It was
outside.
wild, man. It
I
We
like
were
being in that
there.
environment.
The team was up 1-0, as they say in England.
Um,
But then while we were there, Manchester United did score a goal on them, and you could feel the kind of air get let out of the room a little bit. But I am curious. I never looked it up. Who won the match?
Well, Manchester scored a second goal. And they were then up 2-1, and the energy in that place was like, it's a good thing we were on the first floor, because somebody may have jumped off if it was any higher. And then I feel like it was the 86th minute or the 87th minute, something toward the very end of the game, Liverpool scored a second goal, and then
Be a penalty kick.
I don't think it was a penalty kick.
But wasn't?
Oh, it was on a
Okay.
penalty kick.
I
I
can't
thought it was a
remember.
penalty kick.
Maybe it was. All I know is that it ended in a fucking tie, and I just thought, we need a Mighty Ducks shootout right now. Like, why on God's green earth do these games end in ties and not with a 5-shot to 5-shot, test the goalie out? Let's get it done.
It really would make the game a little more exciting. I mean, everyone loves a shootout, and I feel like there's so many ties in soccer that you just add the shootout at the end,
A
And,
shootout.
Let's
What
make it
a-
3-on-3. If it's 5-5, people are like, "Oh, it's going to take too long." Then just do 3 kickers from each team. Like we need something.
well, you
to
just
break the tie.
kick until one team makes it, and then the other team has to either counter or it's done.
There you go. Just a sudden death. That's another way to do it. Sure. I like the Mighty Duck style where you get, he gets a little moment to kind of shimmy back and forth before he tries to kick it. You know.
Now,
what I'm
before
saying?
we get more on with these bar stories, because we're waiting for Gary to get here, I'm glad you brought up the Mighty Ducks, Matt, because this movie has been in my atmosphere, in my orbit for a lot more in the last 3 weeks. I don't know what happened, but it just started popping up in my feeds. People are sending me videos and clips. It's memes, things like that. And so I decided to show my boy the first Mighty Ducks movie.
Oh,
I'm like, he's old enough now. It's time.
Yeah. How old is he, for the record?
He's 11 months. So
No, this is the perfect time to show it to him.
it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'm watching it. Still holds up. Wonderful film. It ends, and I go straight to D2. Same day.
Sure.
Just keep it
Right on.
rolling. And D2 has one of the best get the gang back together montages of all time.
Absolutely.
We got to get the team back together. You've seen D2, right, Kalen?
I have not seen the first one. Why would I see the second
It's
one?
not what he asked him,
Oh.
Kalen. It's not what he asked you.
Kalen,
Oh,
if
you
you
forget who you're talking to? I'm the guy that fucked up your flying V. I still
that's
have
true.
no knowledge of the
Yeah,
We
Mighty
just
Ducks
passed
universe.
the 8-year anniversary of that, by the way. I got a Facebook reminder. And you know what? Instead of being overjoyed by that picture, I was disgusted by it. I thought, oh, Kalen ruined this beautiful
You
moment.
really did. You
I had
really
no
did.
idea what was happening. I was so
Uh,
confused.
So, Kalen, how many times have you seen the movie Hardball?
Oh, at least 30.
That's
Just
insane.
one of those times. Trade it in. Just one of those
It
times.
was on
trade it in.
TV a lot back in the day. They would play it on TV a lot of times, but whenever
Next
I
time
do see
you're
it on
going to watch
TV, this time
Hardball, you better fucking put Mighty Ducks on instead.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
young Michael B. Jordan. It's great.
So, yeah, but as one of the so it starts. The D2 starts at Gordon Bombay going. Oh, here's Gary. He's coming in. He's gonna want to hear this. He'll just pick him up. Gordon Bombay. He has the duck whistle, the duck call, burr, burr. And then he goes outside of Charlie Conway's window. Charlie's listening to like Pantera or something like that, and he sticks his head out. And Gordon just looks up and goes, "Hey, Charlie, you want to play some hockey?" And then the music hits, and Charlie's just now rollerblading in his Mighty Ducks uniform, and he's going. And of course, the first guys he gets is Jesse Hall, who's playing street hockey outside. It's like, Jesse, we're back. And then they go to the Mall of America, where Averman is handing out tickets, and then they get Averman. It's like, Averman, let's go. And he's like, but, and they're skating through the Mall of America. And then they got to go get Guy Germain and Connie Monroe, and so they go, and they're about to kiss. And they're like, hey, and everyone's like, hey, Quack Attack is back, Jack. And then Guy Germain's just like, we were this close as they're about to kiss. And then they go and they start skating, and then they go to a construction site, and then the tractor beam rolls down. And Charlie's like, oh crap, what do I do? So he jumps it. And when he jumps it, the guy who's pouring the cement, like, oh, look at that guy jump it. And he forgets that he's pouring cement into his buddy who fell into the wheelbarrow. And now he's pouring cement all over his buddy in the wheelbarrow. It's crazy. They get Adam Banks, Cake Eater. They get the crew. And then the freaking Hawks see them, and they try to. You got to watch it, Kalen. I mean, I don't want to give away the whole movie here, but
I would hate to watch the second one before I've seen the first one. So I might have to pull you and do a double feature. I'll show it to my girls. So they can show it to your boy.
Hey Gary. So
Hey, Gary.
The Mighty Ducks, or D2, the Mighty Ducks. I watched that movie every day for probably 2 years. Like, it just lived in my VCR. And when I got home, I would rewind to the beginning, I would watch it, and I would just get pumped to go rollerblading. And then I would just start rollerblading around the block as if I was in that montage scene. So I watching it again the other day, I thought, I wonder if I'll still remember every line.
Sounds like you did.
I certainly do. It's really ingrained in there. I'm almost ashamed that I'm using this brain space for that.
Gary, Chris showed both of the documentaries to his child for the first time.
I mean, I personally would have started a little younger, but
I know.
And
I know.
by the way, before you came on the air, we just talked about the entire history of our friendship and the meeting that we all had at the soccer bar in Long Beach. That's
yeah, that was a super fun morning. Thank you guys for coming out. That was I whispered in Matt's ear right as you guys showed up, surprise, and he was looking around like a fucking lunatic. And when he finally saw you guys, I could just feel how happy he was. So
Oh, that's cool.
Gary, by the way, the first one to arrive at the bar at God only knows what time, and then had to hold the table for a bunch of fucking hungover douchebags who were several minutes late to the game. I can only imagine what that experience was like.
it was a little dicey. You may have noticed that there was one random dude sitting at our table when you guys.
I did notice that. I was like, they just let a dude sit there, like let the man have his fucking corner seat.
I fended
that
off.
guy was random. I bonded with him for like 20 minutes.
Oh, was that the other guy in the Liverpool jersey?
No. By the time I think maybe by the time you guys got there, he got
bonded with that guy too.
Like left. But when Matt first arrived, I had been fending off groups for so long because the game's going, and these people are like, "What's with the 9 empty seats?" And then we can't fucking find anywhere else to sit. So I was fending off these groups. So finally, when the solo guy came up, I was like, "Yeah, you can just sit there until my friends show up." He was pretty cool. He got the note when everyone arrived, and he sort of made his way somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had Kalen pick me up to go there. He was on his way. I was like, "Kalen, swoop me. You gotta swoop me." And he's like, "I don't know, man. I'm in my pond vehicle." And I said, "Well, now you absolutely have to swoop me. I need to get in there."
Boat? What are we
He's
talking
like,
about?
"I'm sorry. I
Might as well be.
It he's like, "I don't know, man. It stinks in here. I gotta clean out the front seat. I don't know." And I'm like, "You gotta get." He's like, "Okay." So he picks me up. It's
The
fine.
car's not meant for 2 passengers.
It was pretty. There's no legroom. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of stuff in that part of the car. I look back though. All his tools. The back seat is your back seat down?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just open, and he just has all of his supplies, and then he's driving me. And what'd you tell me right when I got in the car about your pawn work?
I had just finished doing a drain and clean like the day before. I killed a fish. Yeah, I killed a fish. A koi fish.
Gordon Scales is back.
I felt so bad. It wasn't a big one though. It wasn't
And
a
then
baby either. But
And so Kaylin works with a lot of koi fish, and we're talking about how much koi fish cost. Because growing up, I found koi to be a symbol of luxury. No, you have a koi pond, you have nice koi.
yeah, if you have if you have a big koi fish in a pond, that means you got money.
That's a lot of coin right there.
Yeah.
You need coin to get a
That's a
koi.
lot of-
That's
that's
why
a
they
lot of
spell it
koi.
that way. Yeah.
So I was telling Kaylin, do you feed the fish? He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll feed the fish when I'm out there." And I said, the only way that I know how to feed koi fish is I put the food in my hand, and you put your hand into a fist, and you let the koi just suck the food from the cracks of your fingers.
What?
You guys ever do
This
that?
was also the first time I had ever heard of this feeding method,
What
Gary.
the
I was
fuck
as
are you
surprised as you
talking
are.
about, Chris?
Wait, can you slow that down? What?
Yeah. So you take the koi food. It's like little pebbles
Little pebbles. Yeah, I remember. I know what
of,
they
of
look like.
koi food, and then you put your hand into a fist, and you put your fist into the water, and the koi come, and through the cracks of your fingers, they suction it, and they suck the food from the cracks of your fingers,
Wow.
and it like feels funny.
Is this
When I
where you
was-
got the idea on how to clean AirPods?
Thank you, Gary. I could not have said that better myself. When I was a kid, there was a Teppan Japanese restaurant in Palm Springs called Kobe. I think it's still there. And they had a couple koi ponds out front, and they had a little food dispenser. You put a little quarter in, like a gumball machine, and they would give you a handful of koi food. Never in a million years did I think I should put my hand in the water and let the fish touch my hand. You just throw it like you're feeding the birds. You just throw it to the surface, and then they all come up and they go like, and it looks really funny. Like,
Yeah, of course that's what you do. You throw it into the pond and they come up and eat it. My question is, where did you get this notion of the hand and putting it in the
Yeah.
water? Where did this
What
come
is
from?
that?
Who taught you this weird technique? Or did you
I
just-
don't know. I may have dreamt it. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't
Now it's a
actually
dream.
know. I don't actually know. I remember being at a place where there's a koi pond. That's what they told me to do, and I never forgot about that. Like as a kid, that's like a cool. That's like a cool thing.
question.
I'm gonna
Did
ask
the-
my boss about this the next time I see him.
I have a question. Did the man tell you the story? Have a hook for a left hand.
Well, I'm wondering if Chris was like molested by proxy, because who is this person that's telling you you need to let the fish suck you off? That's fucking wild.
Okay, Gary.
Well, I mean, they are sucking a part of you, are they not?
It seems technically
Yeah.
correct.
So
Listen,
anyways,
Gary just got back from a bachelor party. All right, he's got his mind's in the toilet. Okay,
That was the tamest bachelor party I've ever.
it really
Come on.
was.
really?
Granted, we didn't go out for the last like late night event. Matt at one point looked at me and was like, "What do I do?" And I was like, "Matt, you're not going." And he's like, "I don't want to be the only one not going." I went, "I'm not going. Chandler's not going." And he went, "Oh, okay." And like this fucking wave of relief went over Matt, because it was a stupid idea to go out after that.
Well, you guys did have to wake up at 6 in the morning the next
Yeah,
day.
can we change the subject back to this, Chris? I don't want to cut off anything that you were rolling with.
I think he's done with his weird koi fish
Okay.
feeding.
Okay,
No,
good.
I'm telling you my experience. So that I'm in Kaylin's car.
Chris, I have a question though, real fast, before we move on from the weird koi fish thing. Do you know, or have you ever seen someone else do your move? Like, do you know someone you could call right now and they'd be like, "Yeah, of course," like the fist move?
I don't know.
All right, don't worry. I'm gonna ask my boss about the fist move.
I'm
see if it's a
prepared to
real thing,
believe
because I
it.
am curious.
Kaylin, may I humbly request,
Did I call it the fist move when I bring it up?
No.
whatever, I don't care what you call it, phone in the shirt pocket, wear something with a pocket, and record his reaction, because I feel like it's going to be a look of insanity and I want to see it.
That's not a terrible
No,
idea.
I'm with Chris. I think it could be a thing because they have fish. They clean your feet and stuff. You know, like having fish suck you off is not unusual.
Have you-
Gary.
I don't think I'd ever. I don't think I ever want a fish to clean my feet.
I've heard of that before. I've heard of that,
Yeah.
but yeah.
The fish cleaning your feet.
Yeah, I mean, not it's
Okay.
not
Well,
common.
if that's
but
a
I feel
thing,
like
then
I've seen them do that. Like, yeah,
Took it on my fingers. So yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, so again, Kaylin's car. We find a parking spot. We walk over. We walk in.
I
Matt-
found a parking spot. I found the best parking spot. I like sniped it halfway down the block. Parking is horrible in this area of Long Beach, and I just want to say I was very proud about me finding that parking spot. I didn't want you to gloss over it.
Okay, Kaylin pulled.
Kaylin did a display about this at the bar too. Kaylin is really into this fucking parking spot.
Kaylin pulled a 60-degree left turn to find, just jerk the car left and and was able to freaking, I don't know. It was crazy. So, we walk in, the game's playing. We're broing down with Matt, who we haven't seen. We're touching bellies, doing all the things, and then now it's time to get a drink. And while the game's going on, everyone, we greet the bachelor party honoree / birthday boy. It was the same day. And then
That's right. It was also his 40th birthday.
and then Kaylin goes and buys a drink. So he's like, "Hey, Chris, what do you want?" So Kaylin gets an Irish coffee. I get a Guinness. And as we're waiting for our drinks, Kaylin turns around and he looks at me and he looks at the TVs. And I swear it was like as if all the music died, because the speakers were just pumping crowd noise from the game. And then as everything just kind of dies, Kaylin just yells at me, "Dude, soccer's so boring." And I'm looking at him, and there's a guy sitting at the bar, all decked out in Liverpool gear with his wife. He's older, he's like a lifer. He's a life fan, and he just looks at Kaylin like he wants to kill Kaylin. He's like, "What the F are you doing in my bar right now? Why are you here? You come into my bar and you just talk about and you say soccer is so boring." And anyway, so flash forward to me getting the next round, and I'm at the bar and I'm next to this guy. And remember, this is the Liverpool bar, and Manchester United scores their second goal, which, they were tied for a while. And I thought, but here's the thing. It's kind of confusing because Manchester United was wearing all red in the game.
That was confusing.
And Liverpool's colors are all red. All the people in that bar were wearing red. But in the game, they were wearing white unis with green tint, green accent, right? So it didn't make sense. So everybody in there's wearing red. So as soon as the red team scores a goal, I'm like, yeah, all right. Like, just because I'm trying to be with the crowd here. I'm the only one clapping. I realize the guy turns to me and he looks like he wants to kill me even more. And I'm like, oh my god, I totally forgot the red team is the enemy right now, even though we're all dressed in red here.
Chris, I will admit that I also did like a fucking celebration that I quickly turned into like a fist pump when I realized I had made a mistake, and like I didn't even look around to see if people had noticed because I was very embarrassed.
Yeah. So so that guy definitely had his time ruined by me and Kalen. But
well, at least his team's game ended in a tie, so there you go.
Thank
I guess
Christ.
that's
Thank Christ.
I will say that it got very sad very quickly after the game ended because for some reason, I think there was just too many people and no one really wanted to make a decision. But our group kind of stayed put for like another hour or so after the game ended. And by about 10 minutes after that game was over, it was our group and like 3 other hooligans who were obviously about to go drink for the whole day. And there was no one else. And it was just like kind of sad looking around being like, oh yeah, it's 9:45 in the morning on a Sunday and we're at a bar.
So let me just say then for the record to kind of circle back here. So Saturday night, we all went to an incredible dinner, which I will detail in an upcoming Chez Fond-du-Lait. But
3 months, right?
We had a party, but yeah, it'll be in a couple months. Just stay tuned, everyone. We had a shared party bus take us back to the home base. It was midnight at this point.
Hold on. You skipped the private cigar lounge that we all went to, which was fucking awesome.
Also incredible. But the point being, we get back to home base around midnight. Now, this was a typical bachelor party. I would have no problem with going back out on the town, but I was very aware that we were going to be getting up at 6:30 in the morning. And again, as will be detailed in a Chez Fond-du-Lait many months from now, I had a lot to drink all day long. I was fucking good. And there was a dude there who, I mean, I don't want to make any claims about what substances he may or may not have been on, but he is a very chatty individual. He was very
ready to go. Ready to go
and
again.
We walked in at midnight, and he was like, "Let's fucking go, let's go!" And then we have another dude who hangs with us regularly, who also like he just loves to drink, and he's a fucking great guy, and he lives in the area, and he's like, "I know a bar. Let's fucking go!" And it's fucking midnight, and I was like, "This is the worst." Mistake.
You gotta rally, dude.
All right, so Matt, one small correction that I'm going to make is that the gentleman who we hang out with all the time, who lives in the area, started this while we were still in Newport and was trying to redirect the bus to go straight to that bar in question. And Chandler and I shut that shit the fuck down. And we're like, absolutely not. Like, that is not happening. Like, shut up. And he brought it up 2 more times on the ride back up to the freeway. And he was
so it was that guy's fault then.
He was swinging really hard. Now the dude who you described as chatty, he definitely like was swayed over to that first gentleman's team. And by the time we got back home, they were both pushing really hard to go back out. And I think they had fun, but it turned into like a 3 o'clock thing because these people are regulars at this bar. And when the people at this bar heard that it was the bachelor's 40th birthday at midnight, they basically said no rules apply. Like, fucking, we'll kick everyone else out of here at 1:45 or 2. But you guys
are turning this into a private establishment, and we will go all night. That's crazy.
So
you got to get your second win, though. You know, second wind is a tough thing. I remember didn't we all go out at the end of Gary's bachelor party? That's true. That's true.
I mean, ultimately, it was like, and all the people that were going out, I was like, this car is never gonna make it back to. Oh shit! There's like a crazy hailstorm right now. What's that? Oh shit! Hold on.
I will say that allegedly,
man, I just broke on my hand. There is insane hail happening right now.
You have
thunder and lightning. No, Julie just went out. Oh my god, that is fucking crazy. The reports are like golf ball size hail. I'm hanging on to like a ping pong size ball. That's fucking crazy. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted there.
That's a big hail.
Is there that much of a difference between a golf ball and a ping pong ball?
Matt would know if anybody. He loves ping pong.
Okay, really, because that looked like a lot smaller than a ping pong ball.
Yeah, it was way smaller than a ping pong ball. You're right. It was like a marble.
Looks like a Chinese checkers ball. Yeah.
It looked like a piece of hail. Let's just put that.
It was hail-sized hail.
It was hail-sized hail. Oh, shit. So anyway, I was like, the people that are going out, they are never even going to make it back to the house. They're going to go to the other, there's like a second home base. I'm like, they're going to go to the other home base. I'm not going to get my bed. I'm not going to get stuff. This is just the worst idea ever. And you know what? I had like 1% of, man, I really should have gone. But the other 99% of me was so happy. And when that alarm went off, it was still so painful. And my flight home wasn't going to be for 12 more hours. So I was like, I'm glad that I didn't go out with the guys. It sounds like I didn't miss too much, honestly.
Well, I'm with you because it was my second wedding anniversary yesterday, but we celebrated 2 days ago, got some dinner. And we had this whole night like, oh, let's go get dinner. Like we had somebody watching the kids. So first time, like, I can't even remember how long. So let's go get dinner. Let's go get drinks. Let's really tie one on and enjoy ourselves kid free because this is a big moment. So we get dinner, 555 Kalen. That's
that's where I think I'll be going for my birthday this week.
And had a couple drinks there, got a nice dinner, and then we're so tired we just went straight home after that. Like we don't know how to go out anymore. We came back. It's like they're like, why are you here so early? I'm like, oh, we're tired. We're done. That was it.
Chris, I just to build on your point, my wife and I had sitters. My wife and I had sitters recently to go out for a dinner, and we went out to dinner, and it was fairly quick. And on the way home, we drove by an Aldi, and my wife looked at me and went, "Let's go shopping." And we went grocery shopping on the way home from our date. And we got home and we walked in with all these Aldi bags, and the grandparents who were babysitting for us looked at us like, "What is wrong with you?"
Yeah, it's shameful. It's shameful.
We're not young anymore.
But is it sad that I'm like, oh, that's a good idea?
It is not sad because I got to tell you, 7:45, 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, Aldi's pretty empty.
Yeah. Now, Kalen had to leave the bar early. By early, I mean he left, 40 minutes.
There for about a half hour, 45 minutes, yeah.
And he was going to Trampoline Park. He's taking his kids to a trampoline park. Kalen
in the San Fernando Valley, so that is a long distance from Long Beach. I'll just say that.
Aren't trampoline parks just super dangerous? What happened? Was it safe? Was it legit?
Yeah, they're not super dangerous. Why do you think trampoline parks are super dangerous?
Because trampolines are super dangerous.
Have you ever been to like a kids indoor trampoline park?
No, look, I haven't. I have been on a trampoline. I have been to a park, and I have been indoors, so I could figure it out. But I have not been to
the most dangerous part of the trampoline is the fact that it's so high above the ground, and so it's so likely to fall off and hit the ground and injure yourself that way. All the trampolines are built into the floor in this place. And the only thing really next to the trampolines are more trampolines. You're not really, if you fall off one, you're just going to fall onto another one. But I mean, they had other stuff there too. They had an arcade. They had like an obstacle course. They had like a dodgeball arena, which is pretty cool. Like a trampoline dodgeball course. That's pretty fun. But my kids were too young to do it. But
did your shoes come off? Did you jump around a little bit?
You know what? I didn't actually, but I did want to hit that dodgeball place. But again, my girls were too young, so I just mostly they really liked the arcade more than anything. They wanted to spend most of their time there.
Yeah, I would do it just for the slam dunk thing. Do they have the basketball hoop with the slam dunk stuff?
Yeah, but it was just a regular basketball court. Like there wasn't any trampolines around it. I was like, what's the point of this? Yeah.
That's not fair. That's not okay.
Yeah. No, it wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just find them. I find them very dangerous. Like, I mean,
they're very dangerous.
Look, my friends at trampolines, like we would launch him, we would jump, and we do the thing where you timed it to where everybody jumps down right as the guy in the middle lands, and you literally you launch him. It felt like 20 feet in the air. I was like, holy hell! Like if he could jump on his roof right now, but with how high we were getting him up there. It's just I don't know. Maybe
we all did.
We weren't using them correctly.
Yeah.
Look, I think you're both right. Trampolines are dangerous as fuck, but a trampoline park is probably the safest place to do trampoline because, to Kalen's point, it's surrounded by more trampolines and/or padding, and you're never going to fall through the padding.
There's a guy who, we grew up with in his backyard. He had a trampoline that was the same level as his grass.
In-ground trampoline.
In-ground trampoline. So it's like his backyard's grass. Dangerous. It's grass, and then there's just like a trampoline area, and you could just jump on that. It was awesome. I mean, yeah, it's dangerous because you can just land into the grass, but you're not landing off a different level. It's the same height as whatever you're jumping on. But yeah, you think koi ponds are a life of luxury. It's really the in-ground trampoline.
Yeah, that's like, first time I ever saw that was on Cribs with Will Smith.
And but his dad so this kid throws his birthday party, and his dad was kind of like a spaz. Like one time I spent the night over at his house, and he came over into the room and he went, somebody here didn't brush their teeth because this toothbrush is dry. And it was mine. It was super embarrassing. I'll never forget it. Like,
What is this guy doing testing?
I don't know. I don't know. First he taught
thumbing everyone's toothbrushes.
Well, first he taught me how to feed his koi fish, and then he's like feeling our toothbrush. It's really weird. So yeah, I'll never forget that. So anyway, it was this guy's house, and he throws his kid a birthday party. So we all go over there, and he gets pizza, and then he charges us $1 a slice.
How old are you at this point?
Oh, fuck this guy.
We're like
Just
17.
curious.
We're like 17.
Okay. I mean, still, fuck that, but
Yeah, so he has
thought
a
you were like
big
12.
birthday party.
charging
And we're just
12-year-olds
like,
for
what the? We don't have money on us. We're just like, we're in high school. Like, we don't have jobs or anything. We're just, and yeah, and we had to like sneak pizzas because he was trying to like break even on his pizzas after he bought them for the party. And I just remember we had bands playing too, and we started this big mosh pit, and we got his dad in the mosh pit, and he got knocked over and he fell into the trampoline, and it was really funny because it was a trampoline, and I just remember him rolling around on the trampoline because he got knocked over in there. And it was
That's what you get for charging for pizza.
karma. Oh, like anytime this guy gets brought up, remember this is like, I don't know, 20 years ago, more than that. Still, it's like, oh yeah, his dad charges for pizza at his birthday party. Like that's just who he's known for in our group. It's very sad.
You know what was the topping on that pizza? Karma.
Ah, yes, karma, and it was served cold. All right, look, we got Seggies. We got a lot of stuff to get into. I mean, maybe we'll do some Seggies later too for the Patreon thing, but I'll read a couple of them. Let's do some comments here.
Now it's time for listener
All right, and these are all comments found. Let's start off with our Patreon. We release these shows ad-free on Patreon. I mean, no commercials, just straight WC. Pure. It's like
$5 is $5, people.
It's
Come
like
on.
it's like Walter White's blue stuff. It's as pure as it gets. And yeah, so once again, these are from the ad-free version on Patreon. David Matt Mammoth 69 Smith says, "Sup, Scuttlebutts."
Sup?
Bob Cox Smithy 9 says, "I was starting to have withdrawals," because I think we posted that one a little later in the week.
Yeah, it went up on Friday.
And people are going nuts. Look, we're in demand. People want us. They need us. And
I was standing in the rain on the first tee when it went live.
See.
Oh, it was raining when you guys went
Yeah.
golfing?
It was pouring. Like the first 9 holes, Kalen. My dad had like
geez.
2 gloves on, 5 layers, and he's like, my hands are cold. I felt so bad.
Yeah, for the bachelor party, they went golfing on Friday morning in Southern California. Yeah, it was pouring, it was windy, and I just remember thinking, I was looking out the window going, Gary's golfing right now. Let's see. Don Powell writes, "High school was the worst 4 years of my life, and I was molested by our 17-year-old foster brother when I was 5 or 6. I can't think of an amount of money that would convince me to go to a reunion." Don,
Sounds like you have several reasons to not go to reunion.
yeah.
Very sorry that you went through that. That's fucking
Yeah.
horrible, man.
yeah, Don, I back your decision, and but we're excited to have you a part of this community.
Yeah.
Got that
okay.
comment on about the 4th hole. It changed my mood.
They did.
Yeah, it's okay. And then Joe Cool says, "Congrats on all the accomplishments." All right.
I think
Thanks,
that was to Matt.
Oh
thanks.
yeah, Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah, Matt
thanks.
talked about his
Yeah.
new gig and everything. So yeah,
What?
must be to Matt. All right, let's do some Facebook comments from our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Boba Boy Army Worldwide LLC. We're getting new members all the time, and we're welcoming you. So if you're not a part of this group, join it. Just answer a few questions. We might let you in. Favorite place on the internet. All right. Let's see here. Donald Powell says, "I got hearing aids a couple weeks ago, and they filter out non-voice sounds and mess with the levels of voice in certain range. The problem is they connect to my phone via Bluetooth as well." Wow, hearing aids that connect to your phone. So it's helpful for phone calls, but I use it mostly for podcasts, but it makes me hard to pay attention to the people around me. So yeah, I'm in the same boat, but happier, he says. Well, glad you're. I didn't know hearing aids connected via Bluetooth. That makes sense that they would now, though.
Fucking 2024, baby.
Freaking
Future's now.
The future is freaking now. Scott Phillips says, Gary, I go crazy looking for emotes. Here's my steps and how to find them via AirTag, and he tells you what to click on. Okay, so Don Powell has hearing aids. Scott Phillips is blind. Those are our two.
Let's fucking get these two together on Broadway, baby. There's a movie called Hear No Evil, See No Evil. Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder.
We have
at the very least, we got to Photoshop a poster.
We have a demographic. But yeah, thanks Scott for the tip and to find your remote via AirPods. Enoch Castleberry says, so I got into this discussion with my wife and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Do you have a strategy on ordering at restaurants? Try something new, get what you know.
Do I?
That does.
My argument is get something you don't or can't cook at home. Otherwise, you might as well just cook it at home. What do you guys think?
100% agree. That's a major factor.
I will say that returning when I go back to restaurants, it is very difficult for me to order something that is not, what I got before. And like so much, I'm deciding to go back to this place. It is very difficult for me to stray away from, to change it up.
For the reason I kept you coming back.
Yeah, most of the time it works out.
Right. I used to have a thing where I would always order the top thing on the menu because I felt that's what they want to put out.
First thing that's printed?
And just the top. Oh. It's only if it's not in alphabetical order. Otherwise, then there's no reason. But I always felt that if it's the first thing on the menu, you wouldn't put your best thing on last on the menu.
I feel like you just came up with a great spin-off podcast, first thing on the menu. That should just be it. Each episode, you just go have the first thing on the menu. That's it right there.
I'll just take the top. Yeah, the food closest to the
segment
top.
about appetizers.
You're gonna be eating a lot of appies. But
same thing with that. When I would order appetizers, I would get the first. I would just get the top thing. I always felt that was the move or the people pleaser. Like that's what they want first and foremost. But
call it the App Store E.
Yeah, or like it's like in anything. Like if you're putting your music on a CD, you always put like a really good strong opener, right?
Oh yeah.
But typically though, the best song is like song 4.
The cleanup hitter.
Cleanup hitter, exactly. That's
3 or 4. 3 or 4. That sounds about right.
So
if you've got lull songs on 2 and 3, I don't even know if I'm making it to track 4. You know what
I
mean?
So it always goes opener should be like your second best song, and then your 2 and 3 are your second and third best, and then 4 is your first best, and then
second best song goes first and second.
Or second and third go.
Yeah, no. Dude, it just makes sense, Gary.
Yeah.
Come on.
You repeat it. It's just science. I didn't write the stats.
That's a baller move. Release an album where you have the same song 2 tracks in a row.
Go. Love this song so much. We're playing it again. Yeah, it's called the instant encore. Just play it again right away. But anyway, that used to be the move. Now I kind of just go on Yelp and see what the most popular items are. Ryan Scripps says, when I was growing up, I was the only Ryan around, mostly by those fake license plates you would get at Six Flags that didn't have my name on it, but my best friend Ben had 2 entire skewers stacked with them. Now that we're in our 30s, now there are 30 of us here in this Boba Boy Army group alone. How did this happen? Where do all of you come from? Was there a commune somewhere that I missed the invite to? I mean, there's girls named Ryan now. I can't decide if I feel cool or co-opted. Ryan, I don't know why you think you're the only Ryan around. There's been tons of Ryans. No?
I just feel like we should state officially now, this is the #1 podcast amongst Ryans. Ryans everywhere are in agreement that the Watercooler is the greatest podcast.
I think that's that. Look, I'm trying to build this R1 sheet here, and our demographic is people named Ryan, or if you're blind or deaf.
Cell phones. We also have a huge audience of cell phone listeners. We've been through that before.
Yeah,
we have a couple PhDs.
There were plenty of
forget that
Ryan around when I was a kid, but I think it's largely about the kind of demographic of people you're hanging out with, because Ryan's a really popular name in the Irish community.
Yeah, exactly. I grew up with Ryans.
Yeah, I don't know how old this gentleman is, but when I was a kid, I definitely had 2, 3 close friends named Ryan, and
right. I don't think Ryans are going to be. I think Ryans are going the way of Gary though.
No, nothing's going the way of the Gary as bad as Gary. You kidding me? There has been no one cool named Gary in popular media in 20 years. There's like it's like the highest declining name in the nation. I'm named.
It's got to
Gary
be after Karen. Karen's got to be one.
Karen's coming for girls for sure. But I am someone who's named Gary and named after a Gary, and I definitely, despite what we call him, did not name Gary Jr. Gary.
Is it really the most declining name?
Yeah, for males.
Wow.
In America for males, yeah, it is. There's stories about it like once a year, and I get tweeted them like you with blue food.
David Hundley says, catching up on my pods, Band Benders and Barn Doors would be a great band name. I agree.
Yeah.
Tony McBanoa says, I know it might be wrong, but Dawson loves Stacy's Clum, which is a Patreon reference. Patreon reference. But yeah,
our new segment.
That is an incredible segment.
I guess you have to subscribe to Patreon to understand what that is.
AC Peters, I saw you joking around about how you were halfway through the theme song, but no more joking.
Make it happen.
No more joking. Let's do this.
No one else is making music for us, pal.
All right. Well, anyways, those are our comments, everybody. Thank you so much for.
If you were on Patreon, you get an outro right here.
You would, and I must say, it's a freaking banger. I'll give you a little bit of it. That's all. That's all you're getting. You should be grateful I gave you that. You should be grateful I freaking gave you that. Do you guys enjoy the eclipse on Monday?
No.
Yeah. Me neither. Totally didn't get those special sunglasses and looked at the sun.
Oh, I had the glasses, but I didn't go look.
I did not get the glasses, but in Austin there was a total eclipse of the sun, and it was for several minutes. And we went out to the front area, like the front street, and it got like 8 p.m. nighttime dark. The street lights came on, the birds stopped chirping, and it was like that for about 3 minutes. And then all of a sudden, it just started to get a little bit brighter again. I swear to God, man, it was so surreal. It was freaking amazing. What was not amazing, however, is because of the eclipse, there's been a huge influx of tourism to the Austin area. And when my flight landed at midnight, the day before the eclipse, or I suppose technically the morning of the eclipse, the Uber rate home, a ride that normally cost me about $35 was $120 on Uber. And I did not take Uber. I switched to Lyft because they had it for about half the rate. But I can't believe that they had the balls to charge. It must have been quadruple rate.
But you still paid 100% more than normal. You said it was half, so that's like what, $160 or $60?
I still basically paid double what I normally would have to. And the dude missed my fucking exit. It was so upsetting. I didn't get through the door till almost 1 in the morning.
That is nuts. I know someone who drove from Southern California to Dallas just for the purpose of looking at the eclipse. Yeah, that's nuts to me.
Yeah. It was a very, very cloudy day. There was a really good shot that you were not going to be able to see it, but I heard from several people in my neighborhood who did buy the glasses that, like out of a movie, the clouds did part for the moment of totality. And there are like some crazy pictures going around my Facebook feed right now that are all just pretty incredible.
Yeah, I thought it was fun to watch. I thought where I was, though, it didn't really, it didn't cover. It was like only the bottom half of the sun was covered, and it was just off kilter a little bit. So, but I guess it was cool. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I'm glad Adam didn't walk out while we were all had our sunglasses. He wasn't there yet. That would have been weird. All right. Well, anyway, that was today's episode of the Water Cooler. Why don't we go around and get our plugs in before we record Patreon? I will start with Mr. Orange County over there, Gary Smith. What do you suggest we check out?
I suggest you check out the aforementioned Patreon. If you've gotten to this point in this show and you're still listening, then you're just cheating yourself by not getting the other half of the show each week. And I would like to also plug Friendship and Merriment. And I'd like to thank our own Chris Loxamana and Kaylin Bean for coming out to surprise Matthew. I think it really made a great weekend even better. And I really enjoyed seeing you guys too. I tried to tell Kaylin a story at one point, and when I finished it, he just looked at me and walked away. That was a fun moment. Matt got to witness that. It was great. I told a long story about something, and Kaylin, I don't even know if he knew he was doing it, but he like let me finish, kind of looked at me, and then walked to the bar. without saying anything.
I don't know.
And Matt just looked at me and was like, I guess he wasn't into that story, man. I guess not. It was hilarious. There was a triangle of it sitting there.
Well,
and I finished my story, and Caleb just walked away. And I was like, you know what? That's not on him. That's on me. I need to
No, I will say that must have been like when I needed to go. And so like I had needed to go much before like I had left. I did not want to leave that bar. And I knew I was like, fuck, I have to leave. I have to go like drive all the way up to the valley to a trampoline park. And I just wanted to stay there. And it was just getting later and later and later. And all I could think of was like, okay, I'm now like 15 minutes past the point that I need to be home. I need to get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I probably did tune out to your story because I don't remember what it was about.
Yeah. Well, it was an Irish pub, but so Karen was Irish goodbye conversations though. Just like
well placed. But yeah, check out our Patreon, and thank you both for coming out to surprise Matt. That was really fun to see you guys. It was fun for all four of us to be in the same room again. It was weird.
It felt good. It felt right. Yeah.
It did.
Sweet.
As for why don't you go, Matt? You can go next. What do you got?
Yeah, well, listen, I'll just say patreon.com/watercooler. If you'll indulge me, there's one more part of the bachelor party I definitely want to talk about, and that's not including one of the foods that I will review, one of the meals that I'll review. Had a great time seeing friends and family. I got some family time as well. And yeah, please support us. It's the only way to do it. Patreon.com/watercooler.
Love it. And Ken, what about you?
Check out Gallaghers Pub in Long Beach. They do great for sporting events. Great for all kinds of events. But
yeah,
specifically sporting, UFC fights and football matches at 7 a.m.
And yeah, soccer especially because Kalen loves his soccer. And then as for me, I'm going to be playing at Beechwood Brewery this Friday night, and then at Tantalum in Long Beach this Saturday night. So playing a couple places in Long Beach, some music. So if you have the night free, want to come check out some music, I'll be playing all night long for both nights, and then I'll be at NAB next week. So if you're in Vegas, hit me up. I'll be speaking on Monday. All right. That will do it for Watercooler. Thank you so much again for hanging out with us. We'll be back for Patreon later this week. We love you. Goodbye. Sorry, Dawson was on the cruise today.